Yeah, how y'all doing? Welcome to Ready to Tape. And today, man, we're gonna jump straight into the breaking news. As we already know, and we talked about last night, is that Jon Gruden resigns as the Las Vegas Raiders head coach, and Rich Bisaccia will be stepping up as interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. And honestly, it comes to a surprise to all of us. Of course, it's crazy. I just wanted to do a live instead of doing pre-recorded, just to jump on real quick. Um, First things first, man. I'm surprised that it's Rich Bisaccia. After sleeping on it, I was just thinking about it, and man, we got other coaches that are in place. It seems like that could potentially step up to be a head coach, just like Ron Marinelli, Gus Bradley. I mean, even Ron Miles, I feel like could have potentially been somebody. And then even on the offensive side of the ball, you have Greg Olson who could have stepped up. So Rich Bisaccia was an interesting choice in my opinion. I'm not saying it's the wrong choice. I just think it was interesting. When it's like this, I think at the end of the day, it keeps the sides of the ball separate, significantly separate. That means Coach Bradley, what I'm saying is Coach Bradley will stick to the defense and nobody will bother him. And then I feel like it would be the same thing with Derek Carr and Greg Olson. I couldn't see Rich Bisaccia getting in between those two. So it could be a good dynamic for us. And let me get to the chat real quick, man. Jesse, good morning. How y'all doing, man? Like I was just saying, I kind of want to do a live real quick video instead of doing pre-recorded and just go over a few things that I kind of thought about. 510 Raider, yo, what's good? Good morning, everybody. Silent Goldie in the building. Eddie Ramos, how you doing, boss? Blazing Roots, what's good with it? Man, he got that 7. He got that mirrored number 7 jersey. That's fire for that. What's good with it? Icy Nate's in the building. Raider 530, how you doing, boss? Ephraim pulled up on us. Raider Jesse, yes, sir, yes, sir. 510 says, Morning Raider, I think it's because he was the assistant coach as well. Yeah, most definitely, man. Um, Most definitely. Raider Carlos in the building. Gruden has always liked Bisaccia. He's always tried to talk him up as a head coach for some team. Yeah, most definitely. Arkham Raider, morning. So, with that being said, with the Bisaccia stepping up as the head coach, I just thought it was interesting considering the coaches we do have on the staff. Now, with that being said, Bisaccia, let's go ahead and look at some of his history because I did have it pulled up. Um, I did have it pulled up because I just wanted to tell y'all, give y'all a little information on Bisaccia and some of his history. What happened to the page? Let me see if I could go back. It's Bisaccia. He's been in the league for a good minute now. And just to go over, Rich Bisaccia started coaching in 1983 at Wayne State, went to South Carolina in 88, went to Clemson in 94 as a running back special teams coach, Ole Miss in 99 to 01. He ended up with Tampa Bay Bucks in 2002 to 2010 as a special teams coordinator, as an assistant head coach, running backs coach, and special teams coordinator. So based on just this right here, it looks like he kind of leans more to the offensive side of the ball. Um, so that's kind of interesting thing. He was with the San Diego Chargers in 2011, 2012. In 2013 to 17, he was with the Dallas Cowboys as the assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. And then now with the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders in 2018. And now he's been our assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. Um, Very interesting dynamic. Crazy what had happened, what's transpired, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Todd Clemens said he's a good coach. I mean, I'm not knocking that I'm not saying he's a bad coach. All I'm saying is that it's just interesting that he gets put in that position to be the coach. So we'll see what happens. I don't see us having a major fall off just because Gruden resigned. I do not see that. And the reason I say this is because the defense is the defense. And unless you're gonna say that Jon Gruden had an influence on the defense, then you can't really say the defense should change any, right? So let's just go ahead and try to keep that dynamic the same. But when we go to the offensive side of the ball, it could potentially get worse, but at the same time, you could see an upgrade in the offense, whether it's play calling, whether it's the lack of pressure from your head coach, the stigma he brings to the team. Not only that, Greg Olson might open it up. Derek Carr might have more freedom, and it might be more relaxed. So we might see a better team. I know how it transpired will be drama It's bringing stuff to the locker room. It's crazy stuff, but at the same time, I don't think those guys are in the locker room really thinking too much about playing worse or anything like that. They're more got their mind on the game and the fact that okay, Jon Gruden's not here. It's less pressure almost, right? It's almost like at this point people expect us to fail because of what's happened. So I think we'll be fine. I want to go out against the Broncos this week and beat the Broncos. But I had a couple notes I wanted to touch on. Um, what does this mean for Carr? This was one thing definitely that was interesting. We talked about last night. What does this mean for Carr? I think it puts him in the most difficult situation he's been in since he's been with the Raiders. And honestly, what's crazy is he might be gone after this year. He might be gone. And that's because if we bring in a new head coach, he's going to probably want his guy. He's going to probably want to bring in his quarterback. And at the end of the day, that's the truth. It's the truth. And it sucks for Derek Carr because imagine how much Derek Carr has been through since being with this franchise. Like he's seen probably four or five head coaches by now. He's had the whole, different coordinators, offensive coordinators. Now he has to deal with this whole fiasco. Khalil Mack gets traded away. Amari Cooper gets traded away. He's seen so many different players come up through this franchise, and now he's going to end up potentially getting booted. Now we don't know for sure, but that it puts him in a worse situation he's been in since he's been here. What's good with it, Knock Andrew? How you doing? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How y'all doing? How much control does Interim? I don't think he's going to have that much control. Icy Nate says in Jacksonville, Olsen was OC, and ironically, under Bradley, his offense allowed Blake Bortles to throw 4,400 yards and 34 touchdowns, and he is inaccurate as hell. Yeah, I mean, that's facts. Icy Nate dropping facts, and that's true. That's true. We could see a huge development come across with Derek Carr being with Olsen. Like I said, they could be more relaxed. We know Bradley's going to take care of the defense. We've seen what the defense is like, so it's going to be interesting. Me personally, I would have asked Coach Bradley, but I think the fact that he isn't the head coach is a good thing because in the long term, this would be his head coach stint. Then he would have to go restart again to try and fight his way to another head coaching job. So instead of taking this head coaching job, Bradley, in that case, he would probably just sit back. He'd probably sit back and stay the defensive coordinator. What if Bradley ends up our HC next year? I mean, we don't really know, man. We don't know if we would stay in house or if we would move on from what we have now. If we bring a new guy in, I think the only thing we would bring in is an offensive-minded guy, a young guy or an offensive coordinator that would come in here and help the offense, push the ball downfield. And I think whoever it is, they would probably keep Bradley. That's just my opinion. I don't see why you would get rid of Gus Bradley if you're an offensive guy coming in to be a head coach. You already have a defensive place. You already have a guy that's been a head coach, that's proven in the league. Why would you want to get rid of him? I don't see there's not many guys out there that you would bring in that would have their own defensive guy in mind because whoever we bring in is going to be an offensive-minded coach. I mean, I feel like we can agree on that. Whoever we would bring in would be offensive-minded coach, unless we stay in-house, of course, because I know a lot of people want to go get the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator. Offensive guy. Why would he want to get rid of Coach Bradley at that point? It doesn't make sense to me. So that right there is something interesting to say the least. But let me get some of these comments, man. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing, yo? How's everybody doing? Charm City, yes, sir. Salute Charm City. Was good with it. Justin Lawson pulled up on us. Was good with it. Tula, the realist. I'm concerned about the offensive play calling. I'm not really concerned. I'm not concerned about the offensive play calling right now. I'll keep it 100 with you. I'll keep it 100, and that's because what worse? Why would we get any worse? Is kind of what I'm saying. I feel like the only way we would get any worse is because of the fact that the drama, the attention that it brings. You see what I'm saying? The distraction it brings from Jon Gruden resigning. That's the only way we would get any worse, in my opinion. Outside of that, why would we get worse? I don't see how we get worse. Would the defense start falling off? Coach Bradley's still there. We still got Ron Miles. We still have the whole defensive staff. The defense should stay the same. Percival says, "Yep, for surely." Our special teams has been suspect under. Yeah, that's a good point. Our special teams hasn't even been that great. But my question is, do you guys think the season is over? Do you guys think the season is over? I don't really think the season's over. I don't at all. I don't think the season's over. He says, season is over, trust me, because it's mental. You got no from Blazing, no from Khalil. Raider Jason says no. Raider Carlos says no. Knock Andrew says yes. The realist, but can Olsen call the plays? It's always been Gruden. I just don't see why Olsen couldn't call plays. I mean, Icy Nate just dropped the fact that Olsen was the offensive coordinator when Coach Bradley was the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic. We have both of them on both sides of the spectrum, but they're not in the head coaching position. Maybe that just gives them that much more leeway to focus on what they have to do. We got a 50-50. Chevy Silver says we got a 50-50. 530 says, I hope not. OG Fade says, I think we get 9 wins. We lost on Sunday because of the distraction of Gruden. The distraction is gone. You know, that's an interesting way to look at it. And I kind of do see it that way as well, Tent, because Gruden was kind of putting pressure, like an unnecessary pressure on this team, unnecessary attention, unnecessary distraction. And the fact that he was the head coach. It's like you're not even producing on the field. You're just the head coach. You're drafting, you're making ridiculous draft picks, putting guys in position to fail almost. Like you go get Cleveland Farrell with the 4th pick. Like how is he supposed to live up to that? You kind of put him in position to fail. That's a distraction in a way. Think about it. That's a distraction. That's a hindrance in a way by doing that. You got Alex Leatherwood. You go get him. Then you move him to guard. Like all this stuff, come on now. Definitely not over. G-Town says, what happens to Mayock? So the Mayock dynamic, I was kind of saying this last night on Graphs Live, is the fact that Gruden had a lot of control for a head coach. This is something we have to realize, right? Gruden had a lot of control as a head coach. My question is, going into this offseason, or not even going into the offseason, but the mindset right now of Mark Davis, is Mark Davis sitting back and saying, okay, I'm going to give Mike Mayock control now. Now that Jon Gruden's gone, I'm going to give Mike Mayock that control and then let Mike Mayock make a decision on who he wants to be the head coach. And that's what's going to be interesting. Is Mark Davis going to let Mike Mayock actually be the general manager? Because as we know, Jon Gruden was in most control. He had the most power, right? So now that he's gone, will Davis give it to Mike Mayock? And will he let Mike Mayock go pick his coach? Or will Mark Davis say, okay, I'm going to go find me another coach in the instance of Jon Gruden, to where he's going to find a coach that's going to take over the entire team again, that's going to have all the power again, want to go get his guys, want to go get his offensive coordinator, want to go get his defensive coordinator, his GM, his quarterback, all of that kind of stuff. That's going to be the most interesting dynamic. I think if we keep Mike Mayock and we let him be the GM, I think we'll be better off. That's just my opinion. I honestly do. I think that we'll be better off because we have a guy that's already been in-house and can continue building off of what we've been doing. And if we don't, then it's going to be a completely reset. Who wants to go through a rebuild right now? Who wants to go through another rebuild? Because if you don't think we didn't go through a rebuild when Gruden came here, you're sadly mistaken. So who wants to go through another rebuild? Because that's basically, think about it. That's what would happen if we don't keep Mayock. I feel like it'd be a whole nother rebuild. G. Vergara says 5 head coaches and none got rid of Carr. Exactly. That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. But I just think the fact that Carr has had so many head coaches and he's been through all this. This man talks about how he's not going to leave the team, how he's going to stay loyal, and then the head coach just comes out doing some crazy stuff. Michael Grazzanti, he says he's a little younger. Yeah. Okay, Gruden dictatorship ruined the Raiders more than it helped us. Exactly. That's kind of to my point to where is if Jon Gruden it has so much control, he had just too much control, right, Justin? This is kind of what Justin's saying. You have too much control. You're making too many decisions. He should have just been offensive coordinator from the jump, but he had way too much power. Way too much power. Super chat from Exo Sales. It's crazy how I pulled up yesterday talking about Gruden figuratively being gone. Now we are here. I think we give Mike a shot without Gruden. You know what, Exo Sounds? You did say that, bro. You did say that, and shout out to Exo Sounds because he hit it right on the head, and he's keeping it 100. He did say that yesterday. He did ask that, so that's pretty crazy. I do think we give Mike a shot. I would want to give Mike Mayock a shot because what do we have to lose at this point? I'd rather keep that GM that was with the previous regime, well, with Jon Gruden, right? To where he has an idea of what direction we're going and what we need. We bring in a new guy and he's going to look at it completely different. I feel like he's going to look at it like, oh, we might need to do new quarterback. We got to revamp the offensive line. Maybe he doesn't like the receivers. Maybe he wants to figure out a different defensive coordinator, want a defensive scheme. We just rebuilt this defense. Think about how the defense was before Bradley got here. It was completely different. We had different kind of defensive ends. We had different kind of linebackers. We had different kind of corners. Now look at us. Our defensive line is completely different. Linebackers, corners. We got Trevon Merrick. That's what I'm talking about. So, man, I couldn't imagine doing all of that over again, dude. I couldn't. Icy Nate says, did you know that Greg Olson was actually responsible for designing plays for our offense and Gruden called his plays? But even if they were great designs, he called them at the wrong time and is he called them at the wrong time and is concerned or it is I can't figure that one out. I can't figure that last word out. I just want a coach willing to work with what we got and they won along the way. That's the thing about that is, Sultan, is we have to find a coach. What coach outside of what we have right now would come in and be like, I'm just going to go with this? You see what I'm saying? What coach? I feel like whatever coach you bring in, they're going to want to figure that out. Think about what the Chargers. The Chargers just brought in their guy to be their head coach, and he got rid of everybody. He swiped that whole thing out. Think about the Rams with McVay. They got new people going in there. Think about McCarthy. Y'all think about McCarthy. He went over there. Then he got Dan Quinn, right? So if you think about the coaches, when people get new coaches, and in today's NFL, they bringing in coaches like the coaches got all the power. The coaches, the GM, the coaches, everything. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hard if Mark Davis goes outside of the building. We are almost going to be in a rebuilding mode. Like, let's be honest. Do you guys want to do? I kind of feel bad for Carr. That's what I'm saying, bro. Carr has been in the worst situation. Like, how do you win? How do you go out there and win and play for this franchise if you're Carr right now? If you were Carr right now, how do you go out there and play for this franchise and be confident that things are going to get done? Like, look, Brandon, if I'm Carr, I'm requesting a trade, no cap. Like, you would, like, I couldn't even be mad. I don't care what Carr does up to this point. Carr has already proven his, like, I don't know. Carr has proven his side of being a good, you know what I mean, a good sport. Carr has proven to be a good sport and to put this franchise on his back. Like, come on now, that's crazy. All this stuff going on, that's crazy, man. Like everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it. Silent Goldie says Carr has every reason to want to be traded. Yes, every reason. Every reason. That's for real. Icy making me feel better. I mean, Icy Nate dropping the facts. I mean, that's all it is. Icy Nate is just dropping the facts. Icy Nate's dropping the facts with the Greg Olson. I mean, we'll see what happens. You think Gruden would fire it if we were 4-1, 5-0? Will Gruden resign? But at the same time, even if we were 5-0, it doesn't matter what the record would have been, in my opinion, because it's just what was said. It's just what was put out there. Now, I'm not offended by anything Gruden said. I kind of thought it was funny. I feel like it's locker room talk. I think it's funny. I think the fact that the culture we live in today, I'm not saying that some things are being fought for within being right, with just trying to get justice, equality. I believe in all that, but based on what Gruden was saying, it just sounds like someone was trying to target him and trying to turn it into a complete racial thing when it wasn't. Like, think about how they started it. They started it with trying to do the Michelin tires thing, trying to say it was racist, but then they put out the rest and none of it had to do with race. Like, he was just talking shit, and then you come to find out he said all this other stuff, but the rest of the stuff he said was not about anybody of color. The rest of the stuff he said was only about Biden. You notice how they try to throw in the stuff about Obama. Oh, he disagreed with the Obama term, or was something about Obama, but they didn't say exactly what he said about Obama. But then you go on to say what he said about Biden. If he would have said something about Obama, they would have put it in there and pushed that race narrative for sure. So someone is definitely trying to blackball Jon Gruden. Not even blackball. Whoever did it got him. Whoever did it got Gruden. Gruden pissed the wrong one off. Icy Nate says right now Carr needs to play action with O-line being, yeah. Hopefully we do something to help that O-line get better, a lot better. Screens. I know fans have been screaming to see some draw plays, some screens. Think about when Brian Edwards got that screenplay, 12 yards. We didn't see a screen again. Why the hell have we not seen a screen? That helps the offensive line. Colton Miller does well out in space. He's mobile. Why do we have these athletic offensive linemen that are fast, right? We traded away our old and slow linemen so we could be more athletic, so we can be fast, so we can be more agile. We're not even running screens. What the hell is the point? Keek says, to be honest, this is how we all talk. I mean, be honest. If you're in a group chat full of men, and excuse me if for the women that are here, I know we got Raiderettes. I know we have a lot of Raiderettes, but excuse me, if in a group chat of men, you guys talk amongst men, you guys say things differently, but of course it's not, you're not saying it to be offensive. Like, come on, we're all adults here. You know what I mean? I got 2 kids. There's a way I made them 2 kids. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be grown up here. Crazy thing is, it's far from over. Gruden was just the first to fall. Exactly. If Gruden's the only one to go down, if Gruden ends up being the only one to go down, then it was just a vendetta. They were just going for Gruden. But how do you have over 500,000 emails, but only one guy that's currently in the NFL gets thrown out? So Jon Gruden is part owner of the Raiders organization. You can't ignore that. We won't be reaching in the first round of the draft anymore. I won't say that, bro, because we were reaching before Gruden got here. I mean, I'll be honest. Y'all remember we got Carl Joseph. We had got Garyon Conley. We got Rolando McClain. We had got, Jamarcus Russells, the Jamarcus Russells of the world. I mean, Colton Miller was a Jon Gruden guy, but so you never know. You never know about that. You never know. Damn, 300 people in the chat, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you can. DJ Hayden. Exactly. DJ Hayden. Y'all remember that? Bro, we could have drafted Megatron. I don't even want to get into the draft, man, because there was so many. Megatron was my favorite wide receiver. He's my second favorite wide receiver of all time. Calvin Johnson, I liked him coming out of Georgia Tech, and I wanted to draft him second. My favorite. Who can guess my favorite wide receiver? Who could? Calvin Johnson's my second. My first, who could guess who my favorite wide receiver is? My number one wide receiver. Exactly, Todd Clements. 650,000 emails, and they only go after Gruden from 10 years ago. That's vendetta. That means somebody is singling him out. Somebody's going after him. So, yeah, Gruden is one of many. It will for sure be a documentary, The Fall of Gruden. You know what, Chowder K? Do it, dude. Put clips together. Chowder K. And just talk over it about Gruden and put it on YouTube. I bet you'll get like 1 million views, dog. I'm telling you, if you just do it, put your mind to it, put a bunch of clips together, talk about it, voice over all the clips, put in pictures of the emails or the news and all that, make it dramatic with music. I bet you that thing will get 1 million views, bro. That's a good idea. You got to do that. Raider Carlos, Gruden is not part owner. That was a rumor that he cleared up when he hired him in the interview. Yeah, I didn't really dwell on that, Carlos. I don't remember him being a what's it called? I don't remember him being a Darius Hayward Bay. Exactly. Darius Hayward Bay was one. Said 2-hour documentary. Yeah, that would be a crazy documentary. That'd be crazy. Who was the first one to say it? Let me see. Oh, yeah, that was easy. Who was the first one to say it, though? It was Efren. Ding, 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 ding. Efren Lopez. Yo, Efren, are you a mod? Is Efren a moderator? Somebody let me know. Is Efren a moderator? If he's not, I'm going to make him one because he just got it on the head. Tim Brown. I know he put Tom, but it's a typo. Come on. Tim Brown, my favorite Raider of all time is Tim Brown. My favorite wide receiver of all time is Tim Brown. My favorite football player of all time is Tim Brown. So all around, Tim Brown. Yes, sir. But man, I just wanted to hop on here real quick. We already 330 deep. Pretty much, I just want to hop on and do a short little video. Like I said, I didn't want to do anything pre-recorded. I just wanted to hop on, talk to y'all. P.S. Not released emails, only alleged and clips, not transparent. Yeah. Someone really trying to get Gruden. Gruden was set up to take the fall for others in cover-up. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Somebody has it out for him. Raider Zach says Greg Olsen ain't it. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. But with that being said, let's go look at Greg Olsen. Let's do some history check. Let's do a history check real quick, all right? I got y'all. So let's go look at Greg Olsen, offensive coordinator. Okay. Can I see some stats, though? Okay, here we are. Greg Olsen. Let's go over Greg Olsen's stats real quick. Let's just go over it real quick. See what he's been doing throughout his career. Washington State in 87 to 89, Central Washington from 90 to 93, Idaho from 94 to 96 as quarterback coach for Purdue, 97 to 2000. He was with the Niners quarterback coach in 2001. Yo, this dude kept going here. I'm not finna read all this. He kept going. He was at one place for a year, another place for a year. Yo, he couldn't keep a job. This man was always fired. He was with Jacksonville in 2012 as the assistant head coach and quarterback coach. Came back to Oakland in 2013 and 2014 as offensive coordinator. Jacksonville Jaguars in 2015 and 2016. He was with the Rams in 2017 and been with us since 2018. So basically with that right there, we'll see. We will see what happens, man. Derek is our offensive coordinator. It's him and Olsen. You know what I mean? Gruden is not racist. He's just an idiot. I mean, I won't even say he's just an idiot. He's just talking shit. I mean, 330 people in the chat. We up to 373 people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all new here, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Make sure y'all keep it lit. Let me know what it is. History lesson with Red. Yes, sir. You already know. I already went over to Rich Bisaccia. Let's see what Art says. Art Stanton, appreciate the super chat, but Deshaun Watson is still getting paid after 23 women accused him of inappropriate sexual behavior. Holy smokes, 23 women? 23 women have accused Deshaun Watson of inappropriate sexual behavior. That's crazy. 23. Those are Michael Jordan numbers, yo. He really is the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Holy smokes, he got that 23 on him. What? Efrain Lopez, Tuggy wild, man. I don't want to bring Tuggy in because even if Tuggy ends up staying in the NFL, you know what I mean, with the 23, you know what I mean, 23 women talking about he did something. The thing is, if we bring Tuggy in, how would it look after the fact that we just got rid of Jon Gruden, or not got rid of, Jon Gruden did all this stuff. He was misogynistic, topless pictures being sent of the Washington football team's cheerleaders through emails to him and other men. And then you're going to bring in Tuggy? Like, how's that going to look on the Raiders organization? Mark Davis would be a fool to do that. He'd be a straight fool. Effort said, my bad, working, it's a typo, LOL. I already know, brother. I already know. First thing you see when you walk into my house is Tim Brown signed photo with his 1,000th catch and signed cards. Yo, that's fire right there, brother. That's fire. You had to one-up me, huh, Efren? Efren had to pull up and one-up me on a Tim Brown. He had to one-up me. Now, shout out Efren, though. He always showing love and pulling up. They've been after Gruden since we first hired him. Yeah, bro. Most definitely. They speculated about us not interviewing minority coaches. Yeah. It's just funny because it's just funny because it's like they knew who they wanted. We know where it's going to get Gruden. Come on, man. Deshaun Watson might be getting jail time. Yep, 23 women, 24 women. Sheesh. Dang, bro. Tuggy tripping. Tuggy big tripping. I think they've been after Gruden, though. I think they've been after Gruden. But it was interesting because of everything that's going on with Gruden. Could Gruden potentially see the courts? Could Gruden see the courts based off of what he was doing? Like topless women, sending pictures of topless women? That could be part of a court case. I don't know if that's civil, which I don't think so. It could be something different, but how you feel about Doug Peterson? I do not want Doug Peterson. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not want Doug Peterson. Yeah, it would be straight hypocrisy. There's no way you could go get Deshaun Watson after what just transpired. He said Deshaun Jackson literally quoted Hitler, but he's chill. Quoted Hitler. That was kind of actually funny. This Pete Rozelle and Al Davis feud, yeah, potentially, man. Potentially. Right? Dan Snyder pimping out cheerleaders. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And Jon Gruden was intertwined with that. I think because, let's see, Gruden's brother Jay was over there in Washington. The heat was too close to home. Exactly. Because Jay Gruden was in Washington, I think that's why Gruden was so connected with those people. He got intertwined with the wrong ones, boy. He was, you know what I mean? Don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you eat. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's crazy. He out there twigging. Watson wasn't charged. He innocent. I mean, even if he's innocent, you still don't bring him in. You still don't. You can't do that. Just from the outside looking in, you can't do that. I lost my fantasy match last night to Sanjeet. I know y'all know Sanjeet because of Taylor, man, the Colts running back. First, like, bro, this dude snaps like a 70-yard screen pass run. Boom. The fantasy was over after that. I was winning, and then he just goes off. That made me lose. I was hella mad. All right. So go ahead. I'm gonna do it like this because I know people are asking right now. Whoa, what happened to the chat? Raider Purge, Eric Benamy, Brian DeBall, or Joe Brady. Who would you pick? Y'all let me know right here down in the chat. Who do you guys want to be our next head coach? Who do y'all want to be? Everybody, whoever's available, whoever you have in mind, drop right now in the comments who you guys think should be the next head coach going into this offseason. Y'all let me know right now. Drop it in the comments. Raider Purge has some options for you. He puts up Eric Bieniemy, Brian DeBall, and Joe Brady. Who do y'all have as your guys' head coach for the Raiders? Say you go into this offseason looking for somebody. Who do you choose? Who do you choose? If I had to choose Raider Purge, since I got you comment up here right now, I would go with Eric Bieniemy. I would do it. I would do it. I think he would completely change up. The reason I would want to bring him in is because he's an offensive guy. So I feel like he comes in and he wouldn't have to worry about. I think he would keep Bradley. I feel like he would. He would come in, keep Bradley, work with Mayock. I feel like Bieniemy would keep Carr. I feel like he would. Some people say, no, he wants a mobile quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Why would you say that? That's just why would you say he want a mobile quarterback? Patrick Mahomes isn't out there running. He's not mobile like Deshaun Watson. He's not mobile like Lamar Jackson. So why do people say that? So I'm trying to figure that part out. Why people think just because we get Bieniemy that we would need to go get a mobile quarterback. It just doesn't make sense to me. Mahomes isn't Watson. He's not mobile like that. He throws completely different. But no. Egalitarian 207 pulled up. Do you think the Raiders hire David Shaw, Eric Bieniemy, or Kellen Moore to be the next head coach? Who do you think becomes the new D coordinator for the Raiders next season? Do you guys really think we get rid of Coach Bradley? Do you guys really think we get rid of Coach Bradley? That would be pretty wild. But to answer your question, man, I would go with Eric Bieniemy. I would have to. I just feel like it makes the most sense. It just makes the most sense. Kellen Moore, that's who personally in my mind, when I thought of head coaches, that's the first person I thought of was Kellen Moore, the dude from Dallas, the offensive coordinator from Dallas. He used to be a quarterback. He's super young. He's let's see how old this man is. He's 33 years old. He's 33 years old. Right now, he's the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And that's who I had personally. So if y'all want to know who I think personally we could go pick up as a head coach to be a defensive mind for us, I feel like Kellen Moore could be a guy that we could go pick up. Tanner High said too young. Eric Bieniemy would keep Gus because he knows the AFC West. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why does everybody Bieniemy? He does even design or call the plays. Okay, so who calls the plays in Kansas City? Does Andy Reid call the plays in Kansas City? And when did that start? And when did that start happening again? Because I remember when they won the Super Bowl, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Andy Reid wasn't calling the plays. Andy Reid gave up play calling to him when they won the Super Bowl. Let me see. Yeah. So Andy Reid gave up play calling, I thought. Andy Reid calls the plays. I'm gonna have to find it, man. I swear I seen that when I'm about to find it for you. I'm about to find it. I know I'm not tripping right now. I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. I have to find this. I gotta find this because I swear his play calling 4 takeaways, red hot, play calling. I can't find it right now. But I remember specifically that Andy Reid gave up play calling, man. I'm telling y'all. Right now. Top Notch Sports says Reid did give up play calling for a while during the postseason, but it wasn't a permanent change. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I remember specifically, though. The thing is, I remember specifically, and that's why I'm so hard on this, is because I remember when they won the Super Bowl, I remember specifically they said he gave up play calling. Andy Reid did for a moment of time, and that's when they won the Super Bowl. So what about Josh McDaniels? Personally, I don't want to bring in Josh McDaniels. I kind of like the Kellen Moore idea. Bring in a young guy, have him work with Derek Carr. That right there I think that would be a nice fit. I think Kellen Moore is a nice fit. I'm not choosing Bellamy. That's not who I would choose, but I'm choosing Kellen Moore. That's who I would like. But let's see what we got. We got Josh McDaniels. We have 530 says I like Rich Gannon. We have come on, who y'all think? Let's see. Carl Dozier would be the best fit for the Raiders' new head coach. Byron Leftwich, he's definitely going to be getting a head coach job soon, I feel like. Definitely. Jim Harbaugh. I like the Harbaugh brothers as NFL coaches, as pro coaches. I don't know about that college stuff. I don't do the college, but as NFL head coaches, yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Larry pulled up, says, we could be a better team than we are now near the end of the season as Gruden lured people into the 8-8 trap as an average coach. Yeah. We don't know how this season is going to transpire, but I think we're still a 9 to 10 win team. That's what I said before the season. I had us 9 and 10. I had us 9 and 10 wins right there. Now that everything happened, I'm gonna I want to hear this. He said, hell no to Rex Ryan. Yeah, hell no. Why the hell would you want Rex Ryan? Fuck no. I do not bring Rex Ryan anywhere around here. I know some people want Riley, Todd Downing, Black Trunks. That boy a comedian. OT6 said coach ready to take. Boy, let me tell y'all something. If I was the coach, it would be easy. I say Derek Carr, you go choose the plays, do whatever you want. Coach Bradley, you run the defense, and let's put some points on the board and let's keep points off the board. You feel me? It's that simple. That's all I have to do. Carr, do your thing. Bradley, do your thing. That's what Gruden failed to do. That's all you had to do. We seen it. Gruden was kind of holding us back, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, what are y'all guys' record prediction now? We are 3-2 going into week 6 against the Denver Broncos. We got to go away to Mile High and play them this week, this Sunday. What are your guys' record predictions for the rest of the season now? I know some of you guys had us winning 12, 13, 14 games. Do you guys see us making do you guys have any adjustments to your record predictions based off of everything that's happened in these first 5 weeks? You said Everett says Ray would say Leatherwood, you're fired. Parker, you're fired. Arnett, you're fired. James, you're fired. Yo, that boy got me sounding like Donald Trump out there. You're fired. Yo, no cap. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I would put Leatherwood at guard and I'd put Illuminor at right tackle. That's the only thing I would do. That's the only thing I would do. That's it. I don't want a former player as a head coach. As far as that. Like, just because they were so great at being an NFL pro, I wouldn't want to bring them in just because I feel like that's kind of what we would base it off of, their NFL career. You see what I'm saying? I feel like with Kellen Moore, yes, he's a former player, but I'm not basing it off his career because if I were, then hell nah, he wouldn't be no goddamn coach. His career was garbage. But as a coach, which he's been, unlike Peyton Manning, he's not looking too bad. But I don't know, Mark Davis Barber. He might be decent. But let's look at these records. Tanner Heist is 7-9. Todd Clements with the 8-9. E.C. Everett 8-9. Okay, how you gonna say 500, bro? You forgot we got an extra game this year. Robert, we got an extra game, bro. Put your record prediction again, Robert, because we got an extra game. Can't be 500. 7-9, okay. 5-12. Yo, Rick, that's a dope profile pic though. You got that Samurai Jack. If y'all don't know about that Samurai Jack, James says 11-6, barely missing playoffs, and we all cried. Nah, hell no. Nah. If we go 11-6, we making the playoffs. You got me fucked up. 3-14, sadistic veteran. You got PTSD? Carla Jenkins, 8-8. Okay, Carla. Anthony says, I'll be there in Denver rooting hard. Go Raiders. Yes, sir. Make sure you put on for the team. Make sure you put on for the team. Make sure you put on for the team. Oh, hold up. I got to read this one because player says 12-5. It would be nice to get him to come to the dark side at Walt. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anthony, 11-6. Interesting. 12-5. Carr will play freer. That's we're gonna see. This is gonna be tough for Carr. To start Martin at center. I wouldn't do that yet. 10-7. 12-5. Vegeta with a beard. Interesting. 12-5 though. 12-5. Let's see what it is. Super chat from Steve. He says, I can also see this staff stay though. If we can just make plays at the right time and win playoff game, I wouldn't be mad. DC was balling first 3 games. And that's kind of where I'm at also, Steve. I can't see this staff completely dismantling. Why? But I think it starts with Mark Davis. All of this whole offseason starts with Mark Davis. We'll start with Mark Davis right now. Okay? Because is Mark Davis going to give Mike Mayock that actual general manager power? Or is Mark Davis going to bring in a guy like he did Jon Gruden and give him all the power like he did Jon Gruden as head coach? That's the number one dynamic. We can't even move on from that until we find that out. Until we find out how that decision is going to be made, then we could start, okay, kind of predicting what's going to happen. But unless we know, is Mike Mayock going to be the guy to choose the coach and actually be a general manager? Or is Mark Davis going to choose his head coach and then have the head coach have complete power? You see what I'm saying? Y'all kind of picking up what I'm putting down? Let's see. Justin says, I think Derek is going to light up since Gruden is gone. He's not going to be scared to make a mistake. He's going to evaluate his game watching ball. I hope so, brother. I hope so. Dude, my only question is how long? How many damn years does it take now till we can look around and maybe say there's a lot that has changed in the last decade? Maybe X person has changed too. Oh, man. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. How long? We've been waiting. Honestly, me personally, I've been a fan since I can remember, right? I got pictures, but I've only seen this be good once. I've only seen this good once. And that was like 99 2001. That was the only time I seen this good. I remember watching the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. I remember all of that. I remember Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. I remember all of that, man. So that was the last time we were good, and that was 20 years ago now. We're looking at 2 decades, brother. 2 decades. Leon pulled up. He says, you think after all that's been said and done, we come out in Denver on fire? Honestly, I don't think this hinders our game. So hopefully if our offense plays well, we finna light that ass up. But the Broncos defense is pretty good, so we'll have to see what happens. I'm hoping Derek steps up huge so we can have stability. It would be great for us to get a Super Bowl with Derek. Yeah, Derek Carr at this point, man. Derek Carr at this point, he has every right to do whatever he wants. Derek Carr. Derek Carr has a pass. Like, I don't know many people in the NFL that get a pass, but Derek Carr gets a pass. In my opinion, he does. If he wants to get a trade, he deserves it, bro. If he wants to get traded, he deserves to go anywhere he wants. If he doesn't want to stay with the team, that's fine. Whatever Derek Carr does at this point, I do not care, bro. I do not care. We wasted so much time with terrible decision making. We're at the height of our fandom in 2016. What do? We're beating the shit out of the Colts and you keep him in and he gets hurt. What do? Then you fire the offensive coordinator. So then we're trashed the very next year. So it's like, what the hell? Like, dude, we just do stuff to shoot ourselves in the foot every time. And you can't blame Derek. You just can't. Derek is literally the main leader of this team aside from Rich and Gus. Yeah, Derek Carr is probably the only thing that holds this locker room together. He probably is. He's probably only thing that holds the locker room together because mentally he's like, oh, bro, I've seen it all. At this point, Derek Carr has seen it all. Think about everything Derek Carr's jumped through. Think about in 2017 with the Washington football game. Y'all remember the Washington football game where they were saying the offensive line was letting him get hit because of the kneeling and all the kneeling stuff? Then now all of this, not only that, but the restructure of the whole entire team, having to deal with Jon Gruden, him being traded every single offseason. Like, dude, even 49er fans are saying, like, yo, Derek Carr is going through it. Everybody in the NFL, all the mainstream media, Derek Carr is going through it. Like, I can't believe he has to deal with all this. Like, I've seen it, and I was surprised they even came to Carr's defense after all this. But DC won't want to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't think DC does go anywhere. I don't think so. I think he wants to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. But I'm just saying in almost DC defense that it's like, yo, I wouldn't be mad if you, you know what I mean, dip out. At this point, you just can't be mad at that. You can't. So my points about the cancel culture of today. How long after someone makes a mistake? 11 years. Oh, okay. How long after someone makes a mistake? 11-year-old example till we give someone like gruesome faith they've changed just like the world has. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is another thing is though, Gabby, is you have to understand. I think I'm saying that right, Gabby, is that you have to understand that some of the emails were kind of more recent. So there was emails about 2011, 2014, 2017, and I think 2018. But they were periodic. There's a chronological order to all of this, right? There was what he said about the guy from the NFLPA. There was when he was talking with the Washington football team about Biden, about Goodell, and at the end of the day, he was just talking a lot of shit about Goodell. And I feel like it is just Goodell was mad and he put his ass on the chopping block. Todd Downey would have left to another team that offseason. Him and DC were tied at the hip, so Del Rio kept Derek's core guy over the old DC. That's the thing though, man. That was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. At the end of the day, Downing should have just stayed because Downing was what, the quarterback coach, right? Downing, correct me if I'm wrong, but Downing was the quarterback coach at the time, and then he got upgraded to OC. If DC can't hold this team together, yeah, the Raiders will be 5-12. Goodell backed Davis moving to Vegas at the owners' meeting. Jerry Jones secured the loan Raiders needed with Bank of America. There might have been, I don't know. They probably got some stuff tied in the back that us fans have no idea. You know what I mean? Coach G says, yeah, it was the quarterback coach. Yeah, so most definitely. He was the quarterback coach. He was. Let's see. David Carr on ESPN said he could tell by the Bears game that the Gruden stuff had already affected the team. Said in his opinion was that Gruden would have to go, and that was before the Times article. Yeah, I think, yeah. Because that Bears game, everybody said it. Everybody was saying it, the Bears game. We were going flat. Like, we just looked flat. I know some people, I know Spotlight was saying it was a team loss, which I agree with Spotlight. It was a team loss. The defense gave up the defense had bad penalties at times. It was like, yo, it's a rookie quarterback. Some calls were bad, like that third down play. You got everybody around the first down marker, and then you give up the first. So I definitely agree with Spotlight. with that we could have definitely done better on the defense. But the offensive side of the ball was treacherous. And you could just almost tell, like, yo, Gruden, you, I don't know what you're doing in the locker rooms. I don't know how you're talking to people or what you're doing, but you're getting on people's nerves. And hopefully, what EC Everett is going to help the team. Because if he's gone, then it should help. It should lift. It should be like a weight off their shoulders. It should be like more freedom, more relaxed. You know what I mean? But hopefully they stay disciplined, right? Stay disciplined, but be relaxed. Because boy, if anybody knows, we know what the hell them penalties do. Them penalties, woof. Andrew Sala says, who are the officials for the Denver game? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because some of these refs, yo, we lose every time certain refs play. Certain refs officiate. When certain referees officiate the game, we lose. Like, it's just the truth. Like, we have records to where, who was that last dude where it was like we're 0-7 or something like that. We're like 0-7 and like with certain referees. How is that? How is that? That don't even make sense. You could tell Gruden's plays were bad, probably had other things on his mind. Yeah, it was just bad, man. And if y'all just catching up with us, we got 360 people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. For Shelly, if y'all new here, hit the sub button. You feel me? I do field studies. I just don't only go live. So make sure y'all hit that sub button if you want to see stuff like that. And hit the likes. Appreciate y'all pulling up. But if y'all don't know, I'm not down on Gruden or anything like that. I don't think what he said was crazy. I'm not mad at Gruden. I still like Gruden kind of. You know what I mean? Gruden is a character. He's funny to me. So I'm not offended. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot worse stuff than that. Being in the Army, we used to talk crazy stuff to each other. We used to talk mad foul. You know what I mean? The people was from all over the world, all over different countries. And we used to say all sorts of stuff, learn all sorts of stuff. So what Gruden was saying, that was nothing. That was nothing. But it's a PC culture. You got to be politically correct. It's a cancel culture. And you're going to get canceled if you don't. I almost forgot so many people left early in the administration. Yeah. Remember when the president after what? He was with the organization for 30 years and then he resigned. Our running backs coach retired. Who else left? I'm sure y'all put in the chat if y'all remember if anybody else left, but most definitely that's a good point. Remember 2 people for sure dipped out. Jefferson also, we had executive and stuff resign. Yeah. You feel me? Exactly. The relationship with Goodell is key. We will see this weekend on how it will be officiated. Yeah. Them refs be having it out for us because they never call holding when it comes to Max Crosby or Yannick, but we'll get holding calls back to back to back. That right there, I don't understand. I do not understand. Minish pulled up right now. He says, we playing without confidence, and I think with a fresh coach, we can get it back. Yeah, most definitely. It's like a breath of fresh air. I know it might seem like bad and it's a distraction, but listen, if we look at it from an optimistic way, it could be a breath of fresh air. You feel me? Tell me it doesn't. Tell me it doesn't seem like, okay, we kind of got like a new start. It almost feels like a new start. You know what I mean? Y'all tell me though, if y'all feel the same way. Because I kind of see it like that. Dang. No, I most definitely kind of see it like that as a fresh start. Tim Brown was an excellent player. Heisman Trophy winner. That's why I'm a Notre Dame fan. That's why I like Notre Dame football. Only football. I'm a Duke for basketball. I'm Duke. For football, I'm Notre Dame. And that's why, because of Tim Brown. Timothy Brown. Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, for sure. Him, Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson, my favorite defensive back. Maybe DC will have more freedom to call plays. I feel like we do better when he does that. Yeah, most definitely, David. Most definitely. I agree with you because an example, or not even an example, of reasoning to that would be if you guys on the Raiders YouTube, they put out a video on Lincoln Kennedy. He said Jon Gruden scripts his first 16 plays. If Jon Gruden is scripting his first 16 plays, and when you get a 3 and out on the first play, that right there is 3 of Jon Gruden's plays. That means we still have about 13 plays left of him scripting, right? So that's almost like 4 drives. That's almost like 4 drives. That's basically the first half, the first quarter. And that's what I feel like we were starting slow because of those scripts. Now, was it only because of how he called the plays or the script itself? No. Execution is poor. You can't come out, run a play, call a run play in your script, but then the offensive line doesn't block. And Josh Jacobs is going to the press conference saying, hey, what do y'all expect me to do? You guys watch film. What do y'all want me to do? You know what I mean? So when your players are sitting there saying, oh man, I can't even do anything. What do you want me to do? I mean, it's kind of like a telltale. Something's going on. But something I got to talk to y'all about, man. Something I got to talk to y'all about. Because one thing for certain that I know is that Tom Cable, this offseason, everybody was hyping Tom Cable. Tom Cable was a god this offseason. And if you're in a chat, tell me if you thought Tom Cable was the shit this offseason. Do not lie. Don't cap. Don't cap on me now. Don't start capping. Because this offseason, I know y'all was loving Tom Cable. Tom Cable was a genius. He did what he could with very little. Now all of a sudden, Tom Cable is trash. Tell me if y'all was one of the people that liked Tom Cable this offseason. Tell me. Like, keep it 100 right now. Because I wasn't that optimistic about Tom Cable. I really wasn't. Ryan, that boy stupid. He said, Raid, I named my kid after Tom Cable. That boy is stupid. He said, yep, for sure did. I'm saying. In my source, Icy Nate, of course, my source, Icy Nate, gives a wonderful breakdown of Tom Cable's offensive line rankings. Let's look at Tom Cable's offensive line rankings via Icy Nate. If y'all don't follow Icy Nate, make sure y'all go follow Icy Nate on YouTube. Go follow him on Instagram. Icy Nate's Instagram. And y'all will see. 2016. Y'all bear with me now. I'm gonna go over Tom Cable's offensive line rankings. I got them right here. These are his offensive line rankings. Y'all can see them double digits. It's not looking too good. Now, starting with 2006, work our way down. Starting 2006, offensive line was ranked 31st. In 07, it was 27th, 30th, 31st, 26th, 24th, 20th, 32nd. In 2013, his offensive line ranking was ranked 32nd. In 2014, it was 24th. 30th in 2015, 25th, 25th, 26th in 2018. In 2019, right? In 2019, he was with us. That was his best ranking, and it ranked 12th. Now, mind you, in 2019, it was ranked 12th. Think about that team. Think about that offensive line, right? You had Trent Brown, who was more healthy, right? He played half the season. He played 8 to – how many games did Trent Brown play? Like 8, 9 games in 2019. Not last year, but the year before. It was ranked 12th. We had Trent Brown. We had Gabe Jackson, which Gabe Jackson was drafted by Reggie McKenzie. Rodney Hudson was brought in by Reggie McKenzie. So those two right there were already set in place. You didn't have to develop those guys. Trent Brown, you didn't have to develop Trent Brown. And you have a healthy Richie Incognito. You didn't have to develop Richie Incognito. And you have Colt Miller. which you had to develop Colton Miller. But at the same time, Colton Miller was surrounded by freaking Pro Bowl offensive linemen. He better freaking develop. So the offensive line ranked 12th. That was his best ranking in the last 15 years. In 2020, which was last year, was ranked 27th. And then currently, we are ranked 29th as far as offensive line. So if you're a Tom Cable fan, what do you have? What would you be? What would your response be if you're a Tom Cable fan, and how would you defend him? He said, "Do you think Peyton Manning would be a good coach? The Manning brothers know Brady, and both took him down." Now, someone asked this earlier, Raider Jason, and my response was basically the fact that I just don't want to bring in a former player and judge his coaching off of his career as a player. Right. I know I said I wouldn't mind bringing in Kellen Moore, and I know Kellen Moore was a former quarterback, but Kellen Moore, I'm not basing it off of his NFL career because he sucked. I'm just basing it off of what the hell he got going on out there in Dallas. Now, so with Peyton Manning, I don't know how well he'll be as a head coach. I know he's a great in football mind. I know he was a great athlete, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a good coach, because if that was the case, I mean, Michael Jordan would be a very good basketball mind. He'd be a very good basketball coach, but that's kind of my response to that. So he said, "Yep, I drank the Kool-Aid on Tom Cable. Oh God, I've never mentioned Tom Cable's name in life. I ain't hyping no line coach." LNN Pro always spitting facts though. Efren, I did say that. I still like him though. Won't lie. I still think Cable is good. I think Gruden's play calling doesn't help the O-line at all. Okay, but the thing is, he's only been with Gruden the past, 3-4 years. So what about 2006 to 2017 when he wasn't with Gruden? He said, "Tom, the O-line God. I thought he was going to be good." Okay, let's see what Trevor says. He said, how can we be confident about the rest of the season when Rich Bisaccia is our head coach and is just an okay special teams coordinator?" So this is the dynamic of this right here, is that Greg Olsen is the offensive coordinator. You got to think he's the same guy that was with Jon Gruden, right? We have the same quarterback. We still have the entire same offensive staff. We should be able to go out and call some freaking plays and get that together. The playbook's not going to change. Why would the playbook change? Rick Bisaccia shouldn't be out there making decisions whether or not we choose this play on defense or this play on offense. Even though Rich Bisaccia is more of an offensive guy, he was a running back coach at one time, I believe a wide receiver coach at one time. He should let Carr and Olsen handle their thing. Bradley should handle his thing on the defensive side. And I think that dynamic is going to be good. I think it's going to be good. Everybody handles their job. Take care of your job on your side of the ball. Bisaccia should only be worried about what decision making as far as game situations. That's it. When to call a timeout. But even then, several people are making that decision. Several people. Carr could be on the field calling a timeout. So I think at that point in time, we'll see what happens. Will Rich Bisaccia be calling the play and telling it to Carr, or will it be Greg Olsen? You know what I mean? So we'll find out when it comes up. The Broncos game, when we play the Broncos, who's going to be in Carr's ear? Will it be Olsen or will it be Bisaccia? And it's got to be Olsen. Like, think about it. Why would Bisaccia be in Carr's ear? They don't make no sense. He need to stick with season them, with Carlson and them boys. Y'all never watched him Seattle? You were high on cable. If you were high on cable, oh yeah, you never watched him in Seattle if you were high on cable. Yeah, because that offensive line was garbo. That's why Mac left. He didn't want to play for Gruden because he already knew about him. I mean, I don't know about that, if that's a straight fact, but you never know. You never know, man. He probably seen it. He probably sniffed out the BS. I like Mike Tyson more, though. What were his rankings, Raid? I would have to look for Mike Tyson's offensive line rankings. You would have to correlate. Let me see. Mike Tice. Let's look at Mike Tice. Let's look at where Mike Tice was. 2015 to 2017. I'll see if I can look it up real quick. Raiders, O-line, OL rank. God, oh my gosh, don't even look that up because, sheesh, we are looking rough. We're looking rough. Yeah, I can't even find it. It might take a little while. But yo, I've been on here for a while. I just wanted to pop on real quick. We still over 300 deep. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up on me. Robert Penna pulled up. You know what I mean? Everybody pulled up on us, man. So I appreciate everybody. Until next time, y'all know what time it is, man.